18 goals, 10 goals, one all-time record that may never be touched again, and one man who refuses to believe his story is over. For 2 decades, the world has argued about who the greatest player of all time really is. And right now, in the middle of the 2026 World Cup, that argument is closer to a real answer than it has ever been. Lionel Messi just became the highest scoring player in World Cup history. Cristiano Ronaldo just survived a group stage that almost ended in humiliation. And somewhere in the knockout bracket of this tournament, 3 wins away for each of them, there is a stadium in Kansas City where these 2 legends could finally share a World Cup pitch for the very first time in their careers. Stick with me until the end of this video, because I am going to show you exactly how close that dream match really is, and what has to happen for it to become real. Welcome back to the channel. If you love football storylines as much as the football itself, you are in exactly the right place. Today we are breaking down the real, updated picture of Ronaldo versus Messi after the group stage of the 2026 World Cup. The numbers, the goals, the surprises, and the road that lies ahead for Portugal and Argentina. By the end of this video, I will give you my honest prediction on who finishes this tournament with more goals, and how realistic that Kansas City showdown actually is. But first, let's talk about how we got here, because the last 2 weeks have changed this rivalry more than anyone expected. Let's start with the number that changed everything. On June 22nd, Lionel Messi scored twice against Austria and passed Miroslav Klose to become the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history. Add his hat-trick against Algeria in the opening match, and Messi walked out of the group stage with 5 goals from 2 tournament appearances alone, and 18 career World Cup goals total. 18. A number no one in the history of this competition has ever reached. But here's the thing. While Messi was rewriting the record books, Cristiano Ronaldo was fighting for his football life. Portugal's opener against DR Congo ended in a flat 1-1 draw, and Ronaldo didn't score. The criticism in Portugal was brutal. People openly asked whether a 41-year-old striker should even be starting anymore. Ronaldo himself admitted it was one of the toughest weeks of his career. Now ask yourself, what does a 41-year-old legend do when the whole country turns on him? He goes out against Uzbekistan and scores twice in the first half. That brace did more than silence the critics. It made Ronaldo the first player in history to score at 6 different World Cups, and pushed his career tally to 10. Not Messi's 18. But 10 goals, at 41 years old, in his 6th World Cup, is still a number most legends never get close to. What most people miss, though, is what happened next. Portugal's final group game against Colombia ended in a tense, goalless draw. No goals for Ronaldo. No win for Portugal. They finished 2nd in their group, while Colombia topped it. Compare that to Argentina, who finished their group with a near-perfect record, conceding nothing and dominating from the first whistle. The numbers tell one story. The bigger picture tells another. But here's a twist most fans are not talking about. As Argentina wrapped up their final group match against Jordan, Lionel Scaloni made a decision that says everything about how this tournament is really being managed. He sent Messi to the bench to start the match. Argentina had already secured top spot in their group, and Scaloni clearly wants his captain fresh, not exhausted, heading into the knockouts. That is not the move of a coach who is satisfied. That is the move of a coach protecting a weapon for the real fight ahead. So now ask yourself the real question. Forget the group stage numbers for a second. What does the road ahead actually look like? Portugal's reward for finishing 2nd is a round of 32 clash against Croatia on July 2nd. A side built around Luka Modric, who just became the 4th player in international football history to reach 200 caps. That is not a soft draw. That is a team with experience, structure, and absolutely nothing to fear from Ronaldo's reputation. Argentina's path looks kinder on paper. As group winners, they face Cape Verde on July 4th in the round of 32, a historic debutante nation playing in their first ever World Cup. On paper, Argentina should win that comfortably. But here is what most people miss about football. The games you are supposed to win easily are exactly the games where complacency creates disasters. Cape Verde have nothing to lose, and that can make them dangerous in ways a bigger name never could. Now here is where the suspense really builds. If both Portugal and Argentina win their round of 32 matches, and then both win their round of 16 matches, the bracket sets up an almost unthinkable possibility. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, for the first time ever in a World Cup, on the same pitch, reportedly in a quarterfinal at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Two careers that have run in parallel for 20 years, never once crossing paths in this competition, suddenly colliding in the biggest tournament on earth, in what is almost certainly the last World Cup either of them will ever play. But that is 4 wins away, 2 for Ronaldo, 2 for Messi, and football has a brutal habit of punishing anyone who books their flight too early. So let's get into the actual predictions, because that is what you came here for. Starting with Portugal versus Croatia. Croatia's biggest strength is control, a calm, experienced midfield anchored by Modric that rarely panics under pressure. Portugal's biggest strength right now is momentum, and Ronaldo's hunger to prove the doubters wrong one more time. My prediction, this is a close, nervy match that Portugal edges narrowly, somewhere around a 1-0 or 2-1 scoreline. With Ronaldo involved in the decisive moment, it will not be comfortable, but I believe Portugal advances. Now, Argentina versus Cape Verde. Argentina's defense has barely been troubled this tournament, and their attack, even without Messi starting every minute, is simply on another level. Cape Verde will defend bravely and could make the first half tighter than people expect, but class usually wins out in the end. My prediction here, Argentina wins comfortably, somewhere around 3-0, with Messi adding to his tally off the bench if he's needed at all. If both predictions hold, Ronaldo and Messi each face a round of 16 test, and that is when the real Kansas City question gets serious. I want to be completely honest with you. This is analysis and prediction, not a guarantee. Anything can happen in a single knockout match, but based on current form, squad depth, and the way both coaches are managing their captains, my honest read is that Argentina has the slightly smoother path, while Portugal will have to fight through at least one genuinely dangerous opponent to keep this dream alive. And as for the actual goal race, Messi's lead is already historic, and in my prediction, it only grows from here. Ronaldo has proven he still has magic left in his boots, but closing an 8-goal career gap in what's likely his final tournament is an enormous ask, even for him. So here is what I want to know from you. Do you think Portugal survives Croatia and keeps this dream alive? Do you believe Ronaldo can still produce something special at 41 in what is almost certainly his last World Cup? And if Ronaldo and Messi really do meet at Arrowhead Stadium, who walks away with the win? Type your prediction in the comments below. I read every single one. If this breakdown helped you see this tournament differently, smash that like button. Subscribe for more World Cup analysis as this bracket unfolds, and turn on notifications so you don't miss it when these two legends get one match closer to history. See you in the next video.